Hello, friends. My name is Dr. Chirag Chakravarti. I'm the CEO of Katik Consulting Limited, based in Mauritius. I'm really thankful to the organizer of Asian African Business Summit for inviting me as a guest speaker. My topic of the session is today is the volatility in financial market in a post-COVID scenario. This is a very interesting topic, no doubt about it, and it's a very vast topic to cover. Uh, so, as you know, friends, volatility, in a very simple term, it implies a change in price of the asset, and that asset can be a equity, it can be bond, it can be commodity, it can be any damn thing. So, change in the price is the volatility, and we always want the price of an asset should change regularly. uh, if it doesn't change, it means that the market is illiquid. So we always want changes. But what causes concern for people is if this change in prices becomes uh, very random, and if the change in the prices, the quantity of the change in the prices are very big, and it's frequently happening. So if, for example, if the price goes up in 1 minute and again the price comes down in a bigger amount, and then that becomes really a problem for a financial market. So volatility creates a lot of havoc, and that's why sometimes it creates concern. But obviously, volatility is also a very important factor for people who are interested in option world. So people make money from the volatility also. So there are various aspects of volatility. There's implied volatility, there's a historical volatility, and so on and so forth. Uh, but why volatility is created? Volatility is created basically because uh, if there's uncertainty in the financial market, and COVID is one of the biggest uncertainty of the century, which led to high volatility in various financial market across Asia and Africa. Uh, but it has also normalized and to some extent. So that's the scenario of volatility. There are various technical models which helps you to measure volatility, but this is may not be the right forum to talk about the technical part of volatility, because we are talking about. I've been given only about 5 minutes to speak, and in 5 minutes we can't talk about the quantitative models which is used for measuring volatility. So what I wanted is basically is as we are talking about um, leadership summit this one, so I would like to share a few points to all the leaders of banking and capital market industry. Why I've shared banking and capital market industry, the specific reason is since I am from that industry, I thought it is better to talk about this in that way, so that we can always talk from that perspective. And that's why I thought it's better to talk, raise few points which the leaders of this industry should take care. And if they don't take care of those things, then maybe there can be discontinuity in those business, and that may lead to further uncertainty. And if that happens, then again, as I said, that may lead to a future volatility in the market. So I have taken around 8 points which I want to share with you, with all the leaders here. The first one is the financial impact due to lack of business. And when I say lack of business, basically because there can be lack of liquidity, and there can be lack of which can lead to lack of capital resources. So liquidity, as people say, there's enough liquidity in the market, and that's, I think, one of the difference between COVID problem and the 2008 problem. There's enough liquidity in the market, but the liquidity is not moving in the right direction at the right time. That's the problem, because people are taking time to invest in various places. They are keeping it, holding it back, and that's the reason why the liquidity to some extent is not flowing equally in all the assets. And when there's not liquidity enough, then obviously that will lead to more and more financial uncertainty, and that may impact your financial impact. will come in a big way. So that's one factor which I'm bothered about, that the leaders should take care of the liquidity and the capital resources. The second one which I want to talk about is the effect of workforce reduction, which is we are seeing in a big way. People are getting unemployed, and the business is cutting down on the people. And I don't blame the organization for that, because if you don't have business, obviously you'll try to cut down your staff to some extent, so that they can, and that can lead to cost reduction. But what I would like to talk about here is that instead of doing a cost reduction, you should do a cost management. And as a leader, when you remove people to some extent, you may lose some good assets as in terms of human resources. And that's why we need to be very careful to see that we don't throw out good people in this in this reduction of staff. So that's the reason why I'm saying that's the second factor. As a leader, we should be very careful. Third one, I'm talking about the decrease in consumer confidence of spending and consumptions, and that's leading again a problem that people are not coming forward, which I also talked about from investment perspective. And the same thing is there, the consumption will to some extent getting reductions, and that is again a factor which leaders should talk about it. Supply chain disruptions, which is again creating a lot of issues. We are seeing a lot of factors which is creating supply chain disruption. And there's also point which is coming up now, because of shortage of power in China. There can be a lot of shortages in or disruption in the supply chain, and which can lead to again a problem. Difficulty of funding, that's another area which is just may not get easy funding for various business, and that can lead to uncertainty. And finally, I would like to touch upon three things which is very important. One is the enhancement in cybersecurity attack, and that risk is getting enhanced big time. So you need to be very careful, because since we are all in capital market, in financial market, we are talking about digitalization in a big way. This becomes a very important thing that we need to take care of it. The cybersecurity should be taken care properly. Technology for cost for digitalization should be taken into, because we are talking about digitalization, but it's not easy, it's not cheap. So we need to talk about the cost for the technological disruption that will definitely impact you in a big way. And finally, I would like to say, since we are talking about the new normal, for the new normal, the business models are changing, and since the business model is changing, you will require more people who are more talented to work in this new normal business model. So there can be a potential dearth of a talent in such a new normal, and as a leader, you should take care of that and identify people who can work for you in this new normal business model. That's very important. So these are some of the 8 points which I want to raise in the short term, and it's very important that as a leader you should take care of it. If you don't do that, then it will lead to obviously uncertainty in your business, which can lead to channelizing that same thing. Because if you're listed in equity market, definitely that will get a lot of volatility, because your business is running to an uncertainty part. So that it's these are the 7 and 8 points which I wanted to touch upon today. I'm really thankful to the organization once again for giving me this opportunity. And if you have any queries related to things, or you want to discuss more further in those points, I'll be very happy to have the discussion on that. You can always write to me on chiragra.chakravarti@katiconsulting.com, or you can also write at chiragra71@gmail.com. You can ask the organization, they have my details, they can always write, you can write to me. Thank you very much. Have a great day.